According to a Reuters poll, Kamala Harris is leading her opponent Donald Trump in nationwide popularity following the recent debates. The survey shows Harris was a 47% approval rating, while Trump was 42%. But does this mean the winner is already clear? What differences in campaign promises might be decisive for voters? And what foreign policy direction will the new White House administration take? Our reporter Daurian Isagulov spoke with Professor of Political Science at University of British Columbia, Terry Givens, about these key issues. Let's take a detailed look at the main differences between the Trump and Harris campaigns in the next report.
Prosecutor versus felon, that's how tabloids have titled the face-off between Kamala Harris and Donald Trump, referencing both candidates' pasts. The US presidential election has turned into perhaps the most thrilling political event, filled with unexpected twists. An assassination attempt on former President Trump, the disappointing debate performance by incumbent President Joe Biden, and his decision to withdraw from the race all added to the drama. However, the tension and uncertainty within the Democratic Party, which lost its main contender against the Republicans, didn't last long. Joe Biden named Vice President Kamala Harris as his successor.
I accept your nomination to be President of the United States of America.
Although Harris has been vice president for more than 3 years, a September poll by the New York Times shows that many Americans still know little about her, with 28% of respondents expressing a desire to learn more. According to Professor of Political Science at University of British Columbia, Terry Givens, the Democratic Party had no choice but to back her nomination without holding primaries.
There was a sense among many in the Democratic Party that she is the natural successor to President Biden. There was also a large contingent of Democrats who felt that trying to have a very shortened, primary. Anyway, there were a lot of proposals thrown around, kind of before President Biden stepped down, trying to say, well, we could do this, we could do that. I think the leadership in the Democratic Party, as well as many rank and file, felt that Kamala Harris was already on the ticket. It wouldn't take much to change the ballots.
Whether this move came as a surprise to the Republicans and whether Trump's team managed to outplay the strategy is a debated question among the academic community, admits Givens. In his battle against Biden, Donald Trump mocked his age and inability to manage the White House, while also calling the administration's domestic and foreign policies the most disastrous in history. Now facing a younger opponent, Donald Trump and the Republicans have adopted a rather straightforward tactic. Quote, "Nothing will change, she is Biden."
If she gets in, I think we will have a depression, 1929-style depression. That's what I think will happen to our country.
And I don't think the Trump campaign expected Joe Biden to perform so badly in that debate. And so I think that was a bit of a surprise for them, because days before the debate, they were kind of preparing the ground to say, oh, fighting Joe Biden will come out.
According to data from the Pew Research Center, the average American voter is primarily focused on domestic policy issues, with 76% of voters believing that the outcome of the election is crucial for the US economy. Therefore, it's no surprise that the bulk of the campaign revolves around promises related to economic matters. Initially, Harris faced criticism for having a vague economic agenda and placing too much emphasis on Trump's character during the campaign.
I mean, she certainly attacks me personally. She actually called me weird. He's weird. I think I'm entitled to personal attacks. I don't have a lot of respect for her. I don't have a lot of respect for her intelligence. And I think she'll be a terrible president.
On the economy, Trump hasn't really spelled out much of a plan except for giving tax breaks to billionaires, whereas Kamala Harris is talking about increasing corporate tax rates and taxing billionaires and increasing support for entrepreneurs, offering a tax break.
As president, I will be laser focused on creating opportunities for the middle class that advance their economic security, stability, and dignity. Together, we will build what I call an opportunity economy.
Trump, however, continues to appeal to his accomplishments during his first term as a president. In 2018, the US economy grew by 2.9%, a rise largely attributed to Trump's tax reform. Although the COVID-19 pandemic that followed disrupted the results of his efforts, Trump is now promising to return to his previous policies and, as he puts it, make America great again.
Together we will deliver low taxes, low regulations, low energy costs, low interest rates, low inflation, so that everyone can afford groceries, a car, and a home. Common sense. We will stop the invasion, end the migrant crime, support our great police, save Medicare, and save Social Security, which is under siege.
Illegal immigration is a major concern for undecided voters in swing states, whose votes could determine the outcome of the election. On this issue, Trump harshly criticizes Harris, labeling her the failed border czar, implying that her policy have only led to an increase in the number of illegal immigrants. He also links this to a rise in crime, though there is no data to support these claims.
But no crime Kamala has committed against the rule of law is worse than her nation-wrecking border invasion. There's never been anything like it. The day I take office is the day that Kamala's crime wave comes to an end. It's a crime wave in our country. We've never seen anything like it.
Trump has talked about deporting 11 million people. I just don't think that's feasible and would lead to huge conflict in the U.S., whereas Kamala Harris is calling for immigration reform. She wants to revive the bill that was a bipartisan immigration bill that Trump asked Congress, Republican congressmen not to push forward, even though it was ready to be passed, and would have led to more support for our border folks in terms of increasing the number of Border Patrol officers.
As for foreign policy, the current administration was unable to resolve the longest-running conflict in modern times. Whoever takes the Oval Office will also face the challenge of addressing the Israeli-Palestinian crisis. Experts believe that the current administration's Middle East policy will likely continue regardless of the election outcome. Trump has already accused Harris of hating Israel, suggesting that if she wins, the state of Israel could cease to exist. Harris, like Biden before her, has stated her support for Israel's right to self-defense and confirmed her commitment to the two-state solution.
At the same time, what has happened in Gaza over the past 10 months is devastating. So many innocent lives lost. Desperate, hungry people fleeing for safety over and over again. The scale of suffering is heartbreaking. President Biden and I are working to end this war such that Israel is secure, the hostages are released, the suffering in Gaza ends, and the Palestinian people can realize their right to dignity, security, freedom, and self-determination.
In the case of a Trump victory, significant changes in the U.S. middle policy are unlikely, according to Terry Givens. In August, Trump had a phone conversation with Netanyahu, during which they discussed the ceasefire in the Gaza Strip and the release of hostages.
He knows what he's doing. I did encourage him to get this over with. You want to get it over with. It has to get over with fast. But have victory, get your victory, and get it over with. It has to stop. The killing has to stop.
Experts are reluctant to speculate on the outcome of the election. According to Terry Givens, scholars generally avoid making predictions. The experience of the Trump versus Hillary Clinton contest showed that neither polls nor debate results significantly influence the outcome of U.S. elections. The same might be true for elections in 2024. Daurian Sagulov, New Time.